Welcome back to the Financial Autonomy Podcast. I'm Paul Benson, Certified Financial Planner at Guidance Financial Services. You're listening to another episode in our Financial Essential series, where we're bringing back some of the most useful conversations from the Financial Autonomy Archive. With more than 400 episodes in the back catalogue, we wanted to make it easier for you to get to our best episodes. The ones that answer the questions we hear again and again, explain the core principles of good financial decision making, or give you a useful way to think about your money. Today's episode is one of those. It's a practical one and a good reminder that often the most useful financial ideas are the ones worth coming back to. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Financial Autonomy Podcast. My name's Paul Benson. Thanks very much for joining us. You're busy with your career and personal life. You don't need your wealth creation plan to suck up hours of each week. So how can you best put your earnings capacity to work to secure choices for you down the road without the plan adding to your already full schedule? This week I'm sharing 7 ideas to help you build wealth efficiently. Now, I know we've had quite a few new listeners over the summer months. So if you're one of those, I just wanted to make you aware that in addition to us releasing the standard weekly Financial Autonomy podcast, we also have a weekly email that goes out every Friday morning called Gaining Choice. And the two mesh together quite well. So the podcast content is generally timeless kind of content. So we often record depending on our schedule, but they might be recorded a couple of months out from when they actually go live. And the intention is that that's content that's evergreen, that's always relevant. There's a few episodes where that doesn't work, but for the most part, that's the case. The weekly email, on the other hand, because the production time is much less, that gets written usually at the end of the day on a Wednesday and is out first thing Friday morning. So in the email, we can have what's happening in investment markets right now, or, there's some sort of recent government announcement or something like that. We can have really what's happening right at the moment. The Gaining Choice email also has, the latest podcast episode that's out. It has some figures around what investment markets are doing. And we've got a brain food section that just has some interesting things from around the web. So if you're enjoying the podcast, but you haven't yet checked out the Gaining Choice email, I encourage you to do so. It's financialautonomy.com.au/gainingchoice. It's free to subscribe. It's easy to unsubscribe. So, check it out for a few weeks. And if it's not your cup of tea, just hit unsubscribe. But do check that out because it's a really good complement to what we do here on the podcast. All right, well, look, let's dive into this week's episode, Building Wealth Efficiently. I wonder if there's enough focus on building wealth efficiently. Whether it's looking to cut costs at every turn, or convoluted strategies that require you to be up at 3 a.m. to watch FX markets roll. Some property strategies assume you have hours to spare maintaining properties. If you're someone with an excess of time on your hands, today's episode isn't for you. But if you're busy in your career, busy in your life, then it's not enough to figure out how to build wealth. You need to figure out how to do it in a way that doesn't suck hours and hours of your time. Here's my idea for how you can avoid that fate, how you can build wealth efficiently. So the first one is savings capacity. Your savings capacity is a foundational element in you building wealth. As alluded to in the introduction, most of our clients are enjoying career success and earning good levels of income. Our work is in helping them convert that income into wealth, which then translates into choices later in life. Some people get hung up nailing down exactly how much they can afford to invest on a regular monthly basis towards their wealth creation plan. Instead of this being a barrier, pick a figure that feels like it has some basis in reality and then simply adjust once you get going. Much better to get moving, start making a bit of progress than be, sort of frozen, stuck, not being able to make a move because you can't quite figure out exactly how much it is you can afford to invest every month. Okay, next one. Automation is your friend. And this is something that I've referred to in past episodes, so regular listeners will have come across this idea. But automate your investments. You're doing this now with your super. Automation is great because your wealth accumulates without your conscious thought. Automation creates discipline. It also achieves dollar cost averaging. Your purchases are spread over time, averaging out your purchase price. On top of all these benefits, it's super efficient, which of course is the theme of this week's episode. Likely your plan will have some combination of debt repayments, salary sacrifice to super, and non-super investments. All of these can be automated, so use the facilities that are available to you. Okay, next idea, avoid admin headaches. So you're time poor, right? We've established that's the theme. This is who this episode is pitched at, people who are time poor. So spending your time doing investment admin is not smart. Dealing with share registries, the W8 Ben forms that are totally horrible, dividend statements, corporate actions. What a headache. If you want to build wealth efficiently, use an administrative platform for your non-super investments. Your time is worth more than you being a bookkeeper. Admin providers will take care of the share registries and produce tax summaries for you. Plus, no dividend statements for you to file. It's a massive time saver and it doesn't cost a lot of money to have an admin provider take all that work off your desk. Okay, how about building a team? So have a financial planner, an accountant, perhaps even a solicitor as well, that you trust and importantly that you can call on. So when an issue crops up, rather than you spending hours trying to find the answer on Google or asking around different friends, chances are you get the wrong answer anyway, just reach out to your team of professionals. I'm pretty sure that Usain Bolt wasn't preparing his tax return and rolling over a maturing term deposit when he was training for the Olympics. Focus on what you're good at and engage experts to do the rest. All right, next is leave it alone. Don't fiddle. Investment markets go up and down. That's just what they do. You wasting hours trying to time the market is not only wasted hours on your part, this fiddling is almost guaranteed to detract from performance as well. Check out a past episode, Why is the best strategy also the toughest to pull off? That come out the middle of 2021 if you want to try and scroll back. But you fiddling around with your investments, trying to get in and out, detrimental to your performance and also a waste of your time. Don't stock pick. Picking individual stocks can be a fun hobby, just like following the horses at Flemington on the weekend. But if you're looking for wealth creation efficiency, just go with funds. ETFs or managed funds, it doesn't make any difference, whatever you require. But broadly diversified funds are a far more efficient way to gain market exposure than you building out a portfolio from scratch. What is your goal? Have clarity on your goals. As everyone listening who has been through our financial autonomy program would know, we spend a lot of time in our first meeting discussing and prioritizing your goals. If your goals are clear, then you can develop and implement strategies to make progress towards the achievement of those goals. But if your goals are ill-defined, you can end up starting one plan, then needing to change course months down the track, then change again further along the journey. Not only is this almost certainly costly, it is most definitely the opposite of wealth creation efficiency. Determine your goals, then create your strategy, and then let it do its thing. All right, well, look, thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you found it helpful, share it with a friend who you think might benefit too. Of course, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you want to stay across all things, finance, headlines, plus a really fun quiz of the week, then make sure you subscribe to our Gaining Choice newsletter. And there's a link in the show notes for you to do that. Okay, bye for now.